Hey everybody, soybean farmer. Well, today's Saturday, the day after Christmas. Been exactly a week that I've been out here wrestling with this project, working on this thing. And I finally had success. Got a text message last night from a fellow farmer here in North Carolina. His name's Kevin. And first he said Merry Christmas, and then he said, hit it the other way. They lock both ways. We was talking about this locking collar that I've been fighting back here on the back. And I asked him if he could take a phone call, and he said no. He's got a 7-month-old baby that was asleep in his arms. Nice thing about text messaging, it's not so intrusive. So I said, okay, I'll call you tomorrow. And we got on the phone today, and we were talking about this locking collar. And Kevin picked up on something that I had been staring at but not saying anything about. This locking collar, when it rotates, it needs to be able to back off of the bearing that it's locking onto the shaft. And in this situation, I'll put a picture in here from a previous video. Okay, what you're looking at here is there's a bushing right up next to the feeder house. Then you see the locking collar next to the bushing, and then you see the locking collar pressed up next to the bearing on the pulley. There is no gap in there in between any of that. And the locking collar locked onto the bearing has the inside race of that bearing locked to the shaft. So it ain't moving. And that's what it's designed to do. The bearing had absolutely nowhere to go. So today I went and made the investment and got myself a really nice cold chisel. That one's 12 inches long enough to reach back in there. And I decided, yeah, it was going to mark the shaft, but I was going to drive this cold chisel in between the bushing spacer and the locking collar. And I put the puller on here and didn't put a whole lot of pressure on it, but just a little bit. And I successfully drove that chisel in between the locking collar and the bushing. And you can see the space between the two. That let me take this other nice tool that I bought specifically for this job. Got myself a big old pair of channel locks by Channel Lock. Yeah. I guess they were the first ones to invent these things, so everybody, I don't care who makes it, you call them channel locks. And I reached back there with my channel locks and I grabbed a hold of that locking collar and I turned it and it backed right off. Now I'll give you a view of the success. Sorry, the camera's moving all around, I'm trying to hold it. But I'll take that and you can see it move over. Oh, come on, camera, focus. You were doing so nice. And it's free. See it move? It unlocked. And I can turn, it's so loose now I can literally turn that by hand. And we're going to just pull it right on off now and take it down to the workbench at the shop. Okay. Probably going to end up having some fun getting this back bearing out if it's anything like the front one. The front one, the snap ring created some grooves, but I got used to my wife's Dremel tool and I actually understand this thing now. When you start taking something apart that you don't understand, the biggest disappointment in all of that is realizing, oh, I broke it. Now I need another new part. And I'm delighted with the fact that I have successfully managed to get this part off the combine without breaking anything. I'm really going to look into the idea, let's see, try to think of the names of all the different people that have been extremely helpful in this, and it won't come to me right now. 57 Fitter, thank you very much. David, Farming for Fun and Profit. Thank you very much. And Kevin, that you turned the light bulb on when you made that comment this morning on the phone about that locking collar had to be able to back up, and since it was tied up against that bushing, it had nowhere to go. Yeah, I scarred the shaft a little bit with taking the chisel and forcing that thing out far enough to give that locking collar a place to go when I turned it. And it was amazing how easy it turned once it had a place to go. So, I'm about to freeze to death. We're headed for another cold night down here in North Carolina. I woke up this morning to find it was about 26 degrees. And I think we're supposed to do that again. So I think I'll get back out here and work on the teardown on this side later when it's not so cold. Everybody, thanks a bunch for hanging out with me during this adventure. I think we've got all the drama behind us now. It's just a matter of getting this back bearing out and sticking the 2 bearings in it, clean it up real good, kind of contemplate the idea of drilling in that cast and putting some threads in it and sticking a grease fitting in there. Might do it, might not, don't know. God bless each and every one of you. I hope you had a great time with your family for the Christmas celebration. And let's all look forward to being able to go yeehaw, Happy New Year. Bye, y'all.